With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
We're live on YouTube still at Mr. Mo Kelly. We're live on Instagram at Mr. Mo Kelly. And we're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Gotta say, it might be a decent summer. And yes, it's spring as far as our calendar is concerned. But as far as box office season goes, we are now into the summer box office season. It might be a decent summer. And I say decent because the rest of the movies until August have to perform as well. But it could be a decent summer for movie theaters. And for movie theaters to do well, they need to have hit movies. They need to have movies that people are willing to see multiple times. They need to have movies that people are willing to tell their friends about, tell their family about. They need to have movies which are something that people are willing to see during the week. Take time out of their day instead of waiting 2 or 3 weeks for it to show up on streaming. You have that in a movie like Sinners, which came in number 2 in its 4th week, which is really unheard of, with another $22.1 million and a per screen average just below the number 1 movie of Thunderbolts or New Avengers, whatever you want to call it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, see the movie.
A lot of good word of mouth for Sinners. I don't know how much you're on social media, but everybody who I know who posts about it says they went into it kind of cold and they absolutely loved it and are recommending everybody see it.
And this is going to be part of my final thought. Part of being able to go into a movie cold is there is no active reference point. It's not a remake. It's not a reboot. Now, there may be some familiar elements to it, but it is still new. It is a completely original idea, which helps a lot of people where it's like, oh, it's not another Marvel movie. Oh, it's another remake. Oh, it's another Jurassic Park movie. You don't have any of that weighing it down. The prior expectations or the prior failures or the prior indifference. You don't have any of that. So Sinners, and also it wasn't up against any major movies. I think it's debut week.
Yep. Nope.
And that's part of the reason why you'll release a movie in April as opposed to May, June, or July. There's less competition. You can own the box office, and that's what it's done. But here's something else that not a lot of people are talking about. It's presently in 3,500 theaters, which is still far below like a major Marvel movie, which would be in 4,400 theaters. In other words, there is still room for it to grow. And when it first came out, it was only in 3,100 theaters. It is still in its 4th week adding theaters which are showing it. There was so much more growth which was available to it, but people didn't know about it. There were theaters, I guess, who were shy and didn't want to give up a space for it. And now other theaters are catching up, which is prolonging its box office run. It's made $285 million worldwide.
And if I'm not mistaken, there are actually talk of after, I believe, next week, bringing Sinners back for a quick run.
Yes.
Yeah. It's either this week or not. I know it was supposed to be in between Thunderbolts and Mission Impossible. So Mission Impossible is the 28th. So that's the last week. So it's probably this coming weekend that they're going to do another IMAX run on Sinners, because people are literally going to the theaters demanding, like, hey, I didn't get to catch this on IMAX, which everyone says makes all the difference in the world. I've seen it regular. I need to see IMAX.
The movie added 155 screens this week after adding another 150 or so screens the week prior. It is gaining in momentum. It isn't slowing down. Of course, the number 1 movie this week, Thunderbolts. It brought in another $32 million. Its worldwide total is $271 million. It did not have as much of a drop off as Captain America: Brave New World, but they're still kind of neck and neck as far as their overall box office and where it may finish up. It's still, though, an improvement as far as the perception of Marvel. The feeling that they're getting back to basics, getting back to what made Marvel the behemoth that it is as far as making movies, event movies that people want to turn out and see in the first week and not be disappointed with characters that either we know about, we care about, we are now starting to love, and it's moving in the right direction. And I keep telling people, and Twala, you've heard me say it, if you care about movie theaters, you should be rooting for these movies to do well.
Yes.
Beyond these top two movies which are doing well, you have a Minecraft movie which is still hanging around. It's in its 6th week. It's brought in another $7.6 million. It broke the $900 million barrier plateau. They'll probably push it to $1 billion. They'll do something to get the last 90 million. I'm not saying that they'll buy the tickets, but they'll probably buy the tickets. I'm just saying that's what movie studios do.
Yeah. You're not going to let it just sit at like 910 million.
No,
they're not going to do that. No.
Number 4 is The Accountant 2, which is showing some legs for a movie which is not heavily advertised. It's at 83 million worldwide. I don't think the budget could have been more than 45 million. There wasn't a lot to the movie. I liked it. Clown in a Cornfield. Is that a horror movie, Mark?
It is.
Yeah, I kind of want to see that. I'm not saying it looks good.
A fading Midwestern town in which Frendo the clown, a symbol of bygone success, reemerges as a terrifying scourge.
It looks like It in a Cornfield. So like Children of the Corn meets It.
It kind of sounds like that Terrifier, like an offshoot of that Terrifier series.
Yeah, well, what could go wrong? It's surefire hit.
Brought in $3.6 million.
I mean, clowns, cornfields, things that no one likes.
Clowns are scary even outside of cornfields, so I'm in.
Shadow Force bombed. Shadow Force.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it only brought in $2.1 million.
Man, I was really pulling for them.
And that's
Kerry
Washington and Omar Sy.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of Omar Sy. I'm just being honest. I've watched his French movies.
You don't like that?
I don't think he has a screen presence.
Aww.
And Shadow Force had a budget of $60 million. They're not going to make their money back. But I don't think it was well promoted either. I knew about it, but it wasn't like I saw it everywhere.
Now here's the thing: I thought Shadow Force was literally an Amazon Prime movie. I didn't know it was coming to theaters.
I thought it was a streaming property too.
Yeah.
Because there was no buzz around it at all. At all. And that's basically it as far as the main stories coming out of the movies. But you want these movies to do well. I don't know what's coming up in the near future. What's next?
Next, we have Lilo and Stitch coming up, and we have...
I'm going to watch that.
Well, I mean, I know it's not for you, but we have Lilo and Stitch is, I think, the next big summer movie coming that is coming out before Fantastic Four, of course. And then we have Superman. A new trailer drops for that, like the full trailer drops for that tomorrow, along with finally the trailer. Oh, no, Wednesday, finally the trailer for Ironheart, but that's a D+ series.
I got to say this, and I say this regrettably. I saw a recent screening of Karate Kid Legends.
Did you?
And let me just say this. I am all things Karate Kid. All things.
Tell me it was good.
It should have been on Netflix. It just should have been. It's just.
I think it was like the production of it was rated Netflix to begin with. I think it was the people who did Cobra Kai did this.
But I don't want to give away too much. All the goodwill of Cobra Kai that had built up, they didn't use that to propel the movie. The movie might as well have been in a different universe.
Say it isn't so. It's not like the Jaden Smith Karate Kid.
No, that was a much better movie than this. Much better.
But I mean, just not connected.
Yeah, it's not connected really. They try to make these oblique references, but it's not really connected. And it follows the Karate Kid 1984 almost beat for beat. The villain, the whole fish out of water. You can see it in the trailer that we're showing right now on YouTube. Coming from a different place, doesn't have any friends, struggles to make friends, gets in fights because he can't make friends. And then the girl that he has eyes for is the ex-girlfriend of the bully. It's literally like Karate Kid 1984. It's just, come on. And all this is in the trailer. It's just, Oh my gosh. It just, yeah.
And see, it's tough because the onlyest people who would be going to see this is those who are fans of the original Karate Kid and want to see if there's any more nostalgia to eke out that we've been growing to love with Cobra Kai, or recent Cobra Kai inductees who've been brought into the Cobra Kai world.
And the villain is 1/10 any of the villains in any of the movies or TV series.
He's not even a bad boy, Mike Barnes.
No, not even close. It's like, I just can't believe that this guy is the baddest dude in all of New York City. I just did not buy it. Someone would ragdoll that dude in a heartbeat. He is not the most intimidating person out there they could have found for the role. Not that I want to beat up a teenager, but come on, you think through teenagers' eyes, you could have found someone who. We got to go to break. I'm just saying, it's rated Netflix. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Instagram and the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Instagram right now. We're still live on the iHeartRadio app everywhere. And last segment, we were talking movies, as we've been known to do. But I also talked about me being able to see the movie Karate Kid Legends early. And I went in, I wanted to love the movie because of how appreciative I was of Cobra Kai, the fan servicing, letting us know where everyone was essential to the series. And I believe that this movie, Karate Kid Legends, is not going to get made without the success and the interest which had been generated by Cobra Kai. Is a direct reflection of the resurgence of the brand. And I saw it and it's like, And Mark was saying sometimes it's too much of a good thing. It's like, yes, it is the law of diminishing returns here. If you don't know, the law of diminishing returns is the more you get of something, the less enjoyable, the less valuable, the less meaningful it gets to be. Like I always use the analogy of eating hot dogs on Memorial Day or the 4th of July. The first hot dog, the second hot dog, great. Get to the third or fourth, not so much.
You're going right to the tube steaks for this analogy?
Ooh.
Yep.
I was happy like anybody else to see all the Karate Kid people back, but then it was just like, we don't need this much. I mean, I don't need it to drag out ad infinitum into their 60s, okay?
But the last season, I definitely felt that. In other words, I call it they had run out of story to tell. But I was thinking it would be a good way to pass the baton to this movie.
Yeah.
And you have these new characters, none of which they used in the movie. You have these storylines, none of which they used in the movie. And the movie was just
nothing. What? Okay. Now, and this is not a spoiler because he's in the trailer that Daniel-san from Karate Kid and then Cobra Kai is in this movie.
Correct.
How does nothing from Cobra Kai translate or go? Daniel doesn't say anything like, hey, so I'd love to help out, but I'm working on these kids and we're building, rebuilding Miyagi-Do?
No, I will say this, and it's not really a spoiler. Ralph Macchio is not even in the movie until the third act.
How's that possible?
What is
Correct.
going on? I don't understand.
Correct.
Why do it?
Because the trailer would have you believe he's all through the movie.
I thought he was a central point in the movie. Like there is nothing happening.
There's a
until
plot
he
point.
comes in.
There is a plot point, yes, that's central to the movie. But his character, does not even make an appearance until the third act.
I want a class action lawsuit now.
I don't know how you could do a Karate Kid Legends movie. Now Jackie Chan is all through it, beginning, middle, end. But the way they market it is, Ralph Macchio has an equal role to play.
He is heavily featured in the trailer.
He is not heavily featured in the movie.
He was heavily featured in the marketing, the promotion, the lead up, even the announcement. It was Ralph Macchio who was talking about Cobra Kai, who brought Jackie Chan out and said, hey, we've got a major announcement. We are doing
It's almost like they got Ralph Macchio available for 3 or 4 days to shoot when he wasn't doing Cobra Kai and said, can we do some scenes with you real quick? Because he's only in 3 or 4 scenes in the movie, 3 or 4 location scenes, You could tell like, okay, they just threw this in there.
That is garbage.
And there is one end credit scene.
Cobra Kai.
and that was better than the movie. I'm sorry. I wanted to like it.
That's bad.
Yeah. I don't want to tell you because I want you to see it for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who's going to get off the couch and go to this now? Like, I already wasn't so inclined to, but now there's no way.
Wait for Netflix.
Yeah, it'll be on Netflix. It will be. You know, I don't know. Look,
So it's not legendary?
no, it's not legendary. it's not, and I don't even know why they call it even Legends because
You have to have legends,
You can't-
i.e., legends from the Karate Kid
it doesn't
universe.
quite make that connection.
to call it Legends.
Yeah. It'd be different if you had the whole cavalcade of characters
Yes.
of previous movies, or you had not a
Hilary
spoiler.
Swank?
There are no cameos in this movie.
Hilary Swank does not make a cameo.
No.
You're kidding me.
No, Jaden Smith does not make a cameo in this movie.
What then? Why is Mr. Han in the movie? If Jaden Smith isn't in it, you at least got to tell me that Jaden Smith he was judging the competition because he won the last
They
one.
don't even make mention of Chow Dre. He does not exist, only with the exception of, you can see how the events of that Karate Kid propelled Mr. Han, not to drink anymore or whatever, to be a semi-productive citizen.
Wouldn't you love it if they had some martial arts royalty in something like this? Like, get Sammo Hung in it. Get Cynthia Rothrock.
I know.
Have some
agree.
fun cameos.
I agree. The choreography was much better than anything Karate Kid, so I was fine with that. You could tell Jackie Chan, he must have done all of these things because it looked very much like a Jackie Chan movie, using the props and the all types of gadgets and weapons that seemed like, it was well choreographed.
He's still terrific, even though he's whatever senior age, and all his bones and joints are probably dust by now.
Well, he has a moment. He has more than one moment in the movie. I will say that. Just to let you know, I'm still Jackie Chan.
Stick with Drunken Master 2, okay?
But this is going to hurt your heart. I don't know how to put it any other way. It's going to hurt.
Oh man,
You might just have a heart attack and just die right there.
I'm sad right now.
Yeah. I can't in good conscience say, hey, go run out and see this.
You'll always have Rumble in the Bronx.
And I think everything is judged against that, honestly.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Instagram and the iHeartRadio app. I'm curious to know, what are you guys watching? I talked about what I was watching or watched. I finally got around to seeing The Amateur. I actually liked it. It was a bit long in the tooth. There's some of the scenes could have been shortened, but I did like the slow burn, slow build to its conclusion.
It's fun. It's not a classic, but it's well worth a watch. And now you should watch the original from, I think, around the early 80s, 1980.
I will. I definitely want to check it out. Rami Malek is a small dude. I just really realized it in this movie. He's a small dude.
Yeah, he's not a big Jason Statham type. And it's a good role for him because the character has to find ways to get revenge while not being an unkillable machine.
Right. And it made sense. You wanted to see that size disparity in all this. It made sense. It was, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Stefan, what are you checking out these days?
Well, I just finished the Hunting Party, and it's essentially like a kind of formulaic show, but essentially there's this inside job of an explosion at a prison that held like the biggest serial killers, and then this woman has to go out and find them. Just finished it. The first episode has like twists beyond, like it just kept going each break. I was like, damn, what's going to be left of the show? So that was really good. And I just started Poker Face. That's really good.
Which one is that?
That's with Natasha Lyonne, and she like knows how to read people, so she knows when people are lying. And same thing, first episode, man, it just keeps turning around left and right. And I just finished the second episode. Pretty good on Peacock.
All right. Mark Runner, anything specific?
Well, I'm working my way through that terrific French spy program called The Bureau, which is what the agency is based on. So I'm on season 2 of that now. And I also, over the weekend, caught up with an absolutely magnificent piece of trash from the 70s called Golden Needles, directed by Robert Klaus, who did Enter the Dragon, which is the all-time classic martial arts film. And it's got Jim Kelly in it, and it's got a killer score by Lalo Schifrin. I don't know how I had never seen this before, but it popped up free on Roku, 2 weeks after I had bought the Blu-ray to watch. But if you're into that stuff, it's really a little gem. And Jim Kelly's in it, but Joe Don Baker is the protagonist. And I am fascinated by how he became a big star in the 70s because he's such a dope in this. You got to see it.
T?
I have only had time for one thing and one thing only, and that was Andor this week. And I watched it. And it was glorious. Absolutely glorious.
For those who don't know, Andor is a Star Wars Disney Plus streaming show, and they are dropping 3 episodes every week on a Tuesday. So they have episodes 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We just saw 7, 8, 9. They're 12 in this season, and it's the final season because of continuity. You know that it can't go any further. But episodes 7, 8, and 9 last week, that could have been a movie on its own as far as quality and pacing.
Yes, absolutely. Anyone who is a fan of Rogue One, anyone who is a fan of a level of storytelling in the world of Star Wars. We all grew up with Star Wars. As kids, we watched Star Wars. Now we are adults trying to make sense of a lot of the childlike decisions that Kathleen Kennedy has made, where she doesn't seem to recognize that the fandom for Star Wars has grown up. We're adults now. And Andor is every single thing that we as adults have been just craving.
See, that's a great point, because Star Wars, and this was the fear of Star Wars fans when it was sold by Lucas to Disney, that it was going to be Disney-fied, it was going to be for kids, it was going to abandon the fan base, the original fan base, who were obviously adults at that point. I saw Star Wars when I was 7 in 1977. And so when Lucas sold it in the early 2000s, I think, we're all adults at that point. We've seen the prequels. We wanted more, whether we liked the prequels or not. We still wanted a degree of maturity in the movies. Instead, we got more Disney than anything. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the subsequent TV shows felt more Disney than they did Lucas Star Wars. Andor, for example, and obviously The Mandalorian, those were more traditional Star Wars pieces that we got to enjoy. And Andor probably is the most cerebral, intellectual, complex storytelling that they've ever done since they moved to Disney.
But that doesn't mean it's dull, though. It's tense.
Oh, very tense. It was shocking. The things that happened in episode 8 was absolutely shocking, and 9 literally had me on the edge of my seat, like, oh my God. Like, it's one of those things that you may think you know what's about to happen, but watching it in that moment, I was so tense. Like, how are they going to get away with this? And I couldn't get enough.
It was intense, but it was also violent. It was uncharacteristically violent for a Star Wars property. It's one thing when you're blasting someone into oblivion in outer space, or you're cutting someone with a lightsaber. It's not the same type of violence. This was up close. You could feel it. You could, people are getting ragdolled. It was different presentation of what we had known or come to know as Star Wars.
Yeah, let Tony Gilroy, who's running this, do anything he wants in the Star Wars universe now. It really makes you reevaluate all the other stuff in light of how good this is.
Oh, and Mark, you and I were talking about, for fans of House of Cards, and how this in Andor is a much more sophisticated level of storytelling. If you're a fan of House of Cards, you may recognize a familiar name in Beau Willimon, as far as who is the original executive producer, if I'm not mistaken, of House of Cards, or chief writer, something like that, series creator. And he's also one of the executive producers for Rogue One. You could tell, as far as communicating the whole palace intrigue, the sophisticated workings of a quote unquote government and how that plays out. You can see the parallels between House of Cards and Andor.
It's so good, and I'm not kidding when I say it makes you rethink some things. Like, we were talking about this off the air. There's a scene where one of the galactic politicians is grabbed out of the Senate by stormtroopers, and it's absolutely chilling because these aren't the stormtroopers who are just a bunch of boobs who can't hit anything with their blasters. This is like authoritarianism taking shape before your eyes, and you can see how somebody becomes part of the rebellion against the Empire. And I just can't recommend this highly enough. It's probably the best Star Wars thing that's been made apart from the first two.
This is something I talked about with you two all real quick before we go to break. We always heard about the rebellion.
Yes.
And you think about in a intergalactic sense, how can there actually be a rebellion? We don't know what's going on Pluto right now or Jupiter or whatever, nor do we care. But this brings it down to a level where you understood because of the autocracy and the authoritarianism, you can see how a rebellion would grow out of what the Empire was doing to people and doing to planets on a very, very, I'll say, personal level.
It's pretty on the nose because this comes on the heels of us seeing people dragged out of like city council meetings.
Yes.
For asking a tough question.
Yes. Dragged out of cars for suspicion of not being a U.S. citizen and dragged out of their homes and all that. Looks a lot like that.
No, but let's be honest. It's making a commentary about a lot of things going on in the world, and not to give it all away, but there are lines and speeches, about I don't want to give it away.
Well, Mon Mothma's big speech is the pivotal moment of the episode it's in. And
speaking about a lot of stuff in our world.
Yeah, and the repercussions from that as well, because things come at a cost. When authoritarianism starts to take over, the people who speak out against it risk everything, and that's depicted in this.
Yeah. I think it's tomorrow at 6:00 we'll get the final 3 episodes of the season and series.
I'll be up all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to do it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And before we get out of here, I'm going to say this final thought. I can't do it in 2.5 minutes. That's my fault for just getting off the clock and everything. But, I had a pretty decent weekend. You ever have those weekends where you may be busy, but maybe you get a better quality sleep? Maybe get some exercise in. I didn't feel as if I didn't have a weekend. And that's the hardest part of a Monday, where you come in and you feel like, I never left this place. I didn't do anything. I went to sleep Friday, and then all of a sudden it was like Monday morning. Didn't feel that. So that was a plus for me. And, I had a chance to watch some movies over the weekend as well. So that's what I plan to do tonight when I get home, watch some more movies and see what's out there. Now that I'm getting a little bit more time, I'm also in the process of producing and scheduling this martial arts tournament. I made a couple of passing references to it. It's a Southern California Hapkido Invitational Tournament, the first annual, which is going to be in Torrance on May 24th. So I don't have a lot of free time to begin with. That's part of it. So in between teaching classes, getting ready for this tournament, doing the show, working on the YouTube, doing social media, did TV this morning. That was another thing I forgot. I did Spectrum News at 12 o'clock today. It's been pretty busy for me. Pretty busy. I think you were still asleep, Mark.
You love to chronically overbook yourself. I like rest on the weekends.
You know what? I do, because usually when I book myself or agree to do something, I usually think about how I feel in a moment. Yeah, sure, I'll get up tomorrow at 5 a.m, whatever, to do TV at Spectrum because I'm wide awake. And then I realize, I'm not going to feel this way when I wake up tomorrow at 5 a.m, for example. Yeah, you're right on that regard. In that regard, I'd say yes way too much.
Sleep in, watch some movies, get some reading done, have a cocktail.
I have nothing on my schedule tomorrow morning, thank goodness. Finally, I can stay up as late as I want, like a kid in a candy store, and I don't have to get up in the morning, knock on wood. I might even have a cocktail. You're
good enough. You, Mo, are enough. You don't need to constantly be in motion.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the brightest of them all? Come on, mirror. Come on. Come on, mirror, Mark.
Silence from the mirror.
I thought we were getting along for a moment. I thought we were going to be friends.
Let's not make it weird.
Make sure you sign up for our YouTube channel. Sign up, subscribe, like, tell a friend tell an enemy. I don't know. Just tell someone, because we are really growing something here. Participate in the chat. We have all sorts of fun conversations and some which are really inappropriate that I can't tell you about. We have Carnisha managing the chat for not only YouTube, but now we have the live stream for Instagram, and we're going to make this grow even larger in the coming days and weeks. So be on the lookout for that. We'll see you and you'll see us tomorrow. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
Whether you love us, hate us, or haven't made up your mind, we're glad you're here.
KFI
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live.